funny, smart, brilliantly talented, but kind of foolish, as are we all, Sarah Cooper. Okay. We touched on dating apps. I think we got some really stellar advice there for hookups, maybe. Although I think there are some designed more for relationships. But where do you meet men if you're off dating apps?
Well, I like to meet a guy at work. You know, when you meet a guy at work, you know he has a job.
I always say, if you don't work, we don't work.
Right, that's a good one. You know how tall he is, and you know, you can see his calendar. I met my ex-husband at work, and sometimes people say, you know, if you meet a guy at work, that's like settling. But I think it's more like giving up. You know, it's like, you're here, I'm here. It feels convenient, and convenience is hot. You know what I mean? Convenience is really hot. We don't have to think about how we're going to get together. We're already here doing it.
What was your last date like?
Okay, my last date, he's Irish guy, lives in Dublin. So he came to New York. We met for a little bit. We really got along. So I said, you know what? I'm going to come to Dublin, and we can go out. And he said, yeah, I'm going to take you out. And he had this really great Irish accent. He was like, you know, stay away from your lucky charm. I don't know how they sound, but he was so cute. And so I go to Dublin. I get all dolled up. I put on some really uncomfortable shoes. I put on earrings. I do my hair. I shave. I'm so excited.
Shaving is the biggest deal.
What took me 3 hours.
Yeah.
And
it usually does, because you leave it for 6 months, and then you got to get the machete out, not the shick.
I hadn't shaved in years.
Yeah.
So I was really excited about this date. It was the only date I've been on this year. To be honest, this is the only date I've been on this year. So I was very excited about this date. So I go out of the hotel, and he's getting off of his 21-speed bike, and he's got on shorts and a T-shirt that's ill-fitting and has some sort of stain on it. And the first thing he says to me is, so where do you want to go? I flew there. I flew. Do you understand what I'm saying?
And he lives there and knows what's what.
Right. And he said, where do you want to go? And I said, someplace Irish. I don't know, you know. He takes me to the least Irish place in Dublin. I'm eating pizza and burgers. And then you're supposed to pay with a QR code, and his phone doesn't work. So then I have to pay for the meal. That sucks, too. Yeah, he's actually here today. Just kidding. He's not here.
You're like, and we're getting married.
No, I will never see him, and that's okay.
Exactly. Okay, there's a chapter in your book, and I spoke about this in the news, how you moved from Jamaica to Maryland. Like, what is that about?
Well, I am a victim of the immigrant to basic bitch pipeline. It's very serious. It's very serious. I realized I was a victim of this when I was in a Zumba class at Equinox. And they introduced this new portion of Zumba called freestyle. Am I saying that right? Freestyle. And I was like, this isn't, I do grapevine. You know, that's what I do in Zumba. I don't know how to freestyle. I'm in head to toe Lululemon. I'm drinking out of a Swell water bottle. Like, I obviously can't think for myself, you know what I mean? So don't make me try. So this instructor yells out freestyle, and I start doing the Macarena.
Okay, in all seriousness, like, what would, if you could, you know, put all the details in a machine and like, and have somebody come out.
Yes.
Who would they be?
Okay, they're 52. They just recently gotten divorced from a marriage that was long and fruitful. They have kids that can take care of themselves now. They live in a different city so that I don't have to see them too often. And he's handsome, he has a great career, and we just have amazing adventures like once a month.
Okay, I want to manifest this person for you.
Thank you. Let's all do it.
Let's do it.
Yes.
Everybody should get what they want and deserve.
Yes.
Well, I think that you would be like the biggest catch and the biggest dream because you're adventurous, you're funny, you're smart. I think you're everything we women describe of what we want in a man. We want funny, smart, employed.
But until then, we have friendships, right? And the
Yes.
friendships actually are just as important, which is what I had to learn after my divorce. It's like, this is actually just as important as any man, maybe more important.
My girlfriends mean everything to me.
It's beautiful.
And let's just go out there and find our joy and laugh. And your book, Foolish, is so amazing. And it's so amazing that we're so excited everyone in the audience is getting a copy so that you can learn and laugh and love with Sarah.